But I've lived with this so long that you don't know where to start.
How do you escape from a jail you've built for yourself? Hoarding in southern Arizona is a problem much more common than many people realize.
Tonight on On Your Side, Kevin Boughton shows us the program developed here in Tucson to help people and a look inside of the world of hoarding.
For decades, Nancy Willis tried, but didn't know how to fix a growing problem.
It's just so out of hand.
Too self-conscious to let a camera crew into her house, she shared these photos with us. In her kitchen, only one burner on the stove is usable. She eats on a heap of papers. 8 months ago, she bought a vacuum, but hasn't used it.
You get all hyped up and you get the incentive, and then you just go home and it's overwhelming and you don't do anything. I mean, I've had people come over and say, well, we'll help you just get rid of this, and that won't work for me.
Fed up with living like this, she's now seeking professional help.
What's your motivation for coming?
A one-of-a-kind class in southern Arizona to help people who hoard.
Listening is not going to cut it.
The Obsessive Compulsive Disorder Society reports as many as 5% of American adults have some kind of hoarding behavior.
It's a very large number, and I think that it's probably realistically even larger than that.
Lisa O'Neill is the Director of Education at the U of A Center on Aging. She also runs the Southern Arizona Hoarding Task Force and has studied it for years. O'Neill says there are a few key traits professionals use to diagnose hoarding behavior. Assigning value to things most of us would call trash, like junk mail, anxiety when it comes to throwing away possessions, and having so much stuff people can't use rooms as they were designed. Nancy hasn't slept in her bedroom in 17 years.
Got a family room I've never used as a family room. I moved in there for a while and used it as a bedroom.
O'Neill and her team teach people how to manage their hoarding because right now it's a condition that cannot be cured.
Best case scenario is getting someone to recognize that they have an issue before they're in a crisis mode, before an outside agency has to step in.
When people hoard animals, it is particularly unhealthy. Twice in the last 6 months, officers found nearly 50 cats living in unhealthy conditions in separate Tucson homes.
Unfortunately, it's not uncommon here in Tucson, so we're just always sort of ready for the next one to happen.
And when a fire starts in a hoarder house with tight pathways, it is drastically more dangerous for firefighters.
Life safety is the #1 issue, and in order to make sure, we have to do a primary search, and that's getting in there as quickly as possible, doing that very, very quick search, and that's going room to room. Impossible to do that when you come across a hoarder house.
Nancy knows this. Her home, packed with belongings, caught fire in the year 2000. When she moved back in 3 months later, it was clean and clear, but not for long. And just 2 weeks ago, the piles on her stove caught fire while she was cooking, and Nancy used water from the sink